Why, hello there, Nice Nicedow here. I hope this video finds you very well, and I thank you very, very much for tuning in. This is the summary of the Civivi Placoid. I have done a full review on it. The full review will be linked down in the description. That will have the full specs, and it's definitely a longer video if you care to check it out. But this is the summary, so this is sort of an updated, I've spent more time with this knife, what are my further thoughts, and just a quick recap of things. You could say this is the review light. What is not particularly light is the size of this blade. As you can see, this is a decently large Civivi. In fact, it's 3¼ of blade inches of blade, and 8¾ overall, just shy of 9 inches. Decent sized knife, but it's relatively thin blade stock, really nice behind the edge. This is a cutter. It does get a little bit thicker out of the tip, which is nice because it gives you some strength, but yeah, this thing is pretty great. I will link it down below, as it is a budget knife coming in around $54. And at that price, this is absolutely recommendable. This is a really good knife. I like this thing a lot. There is one thing that I think they could do to improve it overall, but just in general, super comfortable. Great job. It is 14C28 band blade steel, which is going to be hard to see because Civivi likes hiding it, and I very much appreciate that. Keeping your logo off there, just this sterile blade, doesn't that look nicer than seeing a bunch of stuff written on the blade? We're paying for, even at budget territories, let's be honest, we're paying for boutique products at this point, right? We're past the point of pure utility. You want just pure utility. You can get a replaceable utility blade that is going to do you fine. You can get a decent fixed blade that'll do you fine. We're not 100% just paying for utility at this point. So putting out a better presentation is, in my opinion, always something to be appreciated. Before I get any further, I am on my way to 700,000 subscribers, about 3/4 of the way there. Consider liking and subscribing if you would kindly. I had to say that because, well, I'm trying to get there, and hopefully you'll be willing to help me out with that one. And as usual, drop any thoughts, comments down below. How can I improve? What can I do? What do you want to see? Let me know. But back to this knife, and sticking with this knife now. Sharp control and plunge grind is pretty darn great. You can see where the plunge ends. It is a little closer than maybe it could have been, but at the same time, the stop pin's way up here. It hits behind the flipper. You can definitely cut in more, and you'll get a decent amount of life out of this knife. As I said, it comes down relatively thin. Nice, big, broad blade, and actually really good edge on this one. So I've had a few Civivi that weren't great. This thing, woo! I don't know if they've upgraded or something, but this one and the Noro Haptic both came with some pretty good edges on them. Though Civivi does, I think, on average, do better than average edges, let's call it. There is some jimping up here. It provides a little bit of traction, nothing major. The sheep's foot blade could also be referred to as a bit of a almost spear point, because as you can see in relation to that pivot, it does land with a tip pretty far up there. So it's not full, it's definitely modified sheep's foot, but yeah, it's a very utilitarian blade shape, and honestly, it's a pretty good looking one, just for the size of it. It makes the blade even more impressive and large looking than it even is. It is on bearings, and yeah, this action would be good on a premium knife. They really got this one right. I don't know, I hope it's not just mine, but wow, that is some amazing action. Top-notch stuff on bearings. You have a flipper tab and thumb studs for actuation, and both work great detent and everything like that. The handle is this blue crushed carbon fiber, or like crushed shred carbon fiber. I've only seen it on a couple knives. I really like it. It's like next level carbon, not carbon fiber, I'm sorry. G10. This is G10, crushed G10. It's really attractive. Nice highlights on with the light and everything like that. They put a little bit of milling in there, and it's deep enough that it gives you a little bit of texture and everything like that. And despite this being smooth, I don't know if it's the material itself or what, but it kind of has a little bit of, it's that kind of grippiness that you get when you have something that's smooth, but it still sort of holds on to you. I don't know if I can describe that correctly. It's good. And the swelling in the handle here makes for nice ergonomics and really just locks you in pretty darn well, especially even for my hand, and probably for even someone a little bit bigger like you. There's a decent amount of room on this thing. I don't think you're going to have trouble holding on to it. It is a deep carry pocket clip. Well, let's just do this before I start cutting myself. Deep carry pocket clip. And yeah, it goes pretty darn deep in the pocket for being such a large knife. Good flex, good retention. Almost no flat at the end, which Civivi loves doing the flat. This is a fantastic pocket clip. It is also reversible. The only thing I can say, I did say there was something, I would like a little bit more cutout for the lock bar access. I'm not a super fan of jimped lock bars in general, but if you're going to do them, give us a little bit more room. It is a bit tight in there. It does present clean, but it does also feel a little bit tight. I can't get it quite coming just from the side. I really kind of have to come from the diagonal. It's not bad, especially considering how bad it could be with not having this much cut back. They somehow managed to get it okay, but I'd like a little bit more. Overall, though, this thing is, yeah, I've really enjoyed this knife. Mine is not even center. They ground it a bit off center. Just a little bit, but it is off center. And it does appear to be slightly in the grind. Well, yeah, very little. It's pretty darn close. Honestly, this is extremely recommendable. This is a $54 knife, and 14C28N, this sort of specialty G10, this level of execution, some shadow box, slightly liners, full steel, decent amount of weight reduction in there. It's not heavy. For a knife of this size, this is a great budget option. Absolutely, definitely recommendable. As I said, I believe, in the beginning, I'll link it down below. If I didn't say that, I'm losing my mind, which is entirely possible. But, yeah, the Civivi Placoid here is definitely a knife to check out if you're in the need of something that's a little bit more, I wouldn't call it robust. It's not like a hard-used knife. But if you want to be able to slice and have, you know, a decent amount of blade and size and comfort, this is pretty good, even though it is flat scaled and everything. I like this one. Comes in a few flavors. Check out through my link if you would like. It would help support the channel if you do decide to pick one up. Otherwise, I think I'm going to end things here. There should be some videos popping up on the screen saying, hey, maybe you'd like this. Suggested other videos on the channel. If you want to click on one of them, go right ahead. If not, feel free to do whatever you want. Alright, I can't tell you what to do. I'm done. That's done. The Placoid's done. It's good. See you later.